Okay, good morning. It is the Thursday morning legal update. Today I'm going to talk about some things for business owners, non-disclosure agreements, non-competes, things about not client stealing, things that small business owners probably don't think about too often. Somebody asked me the other day, when does a business owner need a non-disclosure agreement? So a non-disclosure agreement protects information from your business, ideas you might have, processes you use, methodology you use, maybe how you put products together, recipes, things like that. So if you're discussing an issue with somebody, typically you think of an NDA with like a tech startup company, whereby the tech company is talking about their idea and they want to talk to maybe a potential investor or an advisor or someone they want to run the idea by. So they have them sign a non-disclosure agreement so they can talk about their idea and share it with them, okay? But small business owners have things that they need to protect, ideas, the way they run their business, maybe how they put a product together, how they make a recipe, something like that. And of course, those things, some of those things can be trademarked, they can be copywritten, but if you have somebody you're talking to, always good to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So I find that a lot of small business owners overlook that when it comes to their business. More importantly, though, are non-compete agreements. So even if you're a small business owner, you run a local shop, you have a service business like a nail salon, a hair salon, or something like that, you might want to consider a non-compete and a that's something that prevents people from stealing clients. So, for example, you might take a local salon as an example. So you go, you get your hair cut at the salon, and if your hairstylist leaves, they go somewhere else, you may very well switch and go there. So a lot of local salons and other service businesses are concerned that if their people leave or stolen away by a local business, that they may take their customers. So often it's a good thing to think about having them sign an agreement that for a year or two, something that's reasonable and within 5 miles of your place, of your shop, this person cannot operate. So therefore, if they leave the shop, they got to go farther away, and then maybe it's less likely that people will follow them. Generally, 5 miles, and the courts look at 2 years as being most reasonable. There are some exceptions to that. If you're in a national business, you're doing business all over the country. But for the most part, that's what the courts in New Jersey look to. So therefore, if somebody else was going to try and steal away your employee, they may think twice when they get a letter from you telling them that, listen, this person signed a non-compete agreement and they're subject to this agreement for a period of time, and you can maybe subject to damages and so forth. So make them think twice about it. More importantly, sometimes business owners are less concerned about competition, but they're more concerned about losing their clients and their customers. So as part of this agreement, you would want to have the employee agree to not steal clients from the business who have become customers of the business, to take them away for a new business that they're starting, or to follow them to a new company. In addition, you may want to include things like non-circumvention clauses, meaning that the person you're talking to or working for you doesn't try and go around the business, whether it's a non-disclosure agreement or a non-compete, in order to deal directly with whoever you're dealing with, a vendor or another customer or something like that. So all those kind of agreements are important. Now, sometimes as a small business owner, it's difficult to enforce. It's too costly. There is costs involved with enforcing these agreements, but at least you have something in writing and have some sort of way to approach the person and say, hey, we have this agreement and you need to stick to it. And we've been successful in the past with certain service businesses when somebody leaves the business and they try to go to a competitor, or they get stolen away by a competitor. So you should think about those for your business, especially as we're coming out of the pandemic and you start to open up your business again and want to protect the business that you still have and keep growing your business. Word of caution, though, if you have employees already who are working for you and you go to them and you ask them to sign these agreements once they're already employed, you need to give them what's called consideration. And that could be a bonus, money. There's other forms of consideration. But consideration is generally not considered, okay, if you don't sign this, I'll fire you. So that's not consideration. If you're hiring a new employee as part of the hiring process and onboarding them, you can request that they sign these agreements. Those are binding, but it's hard to make them binding if you don't provide some sort of consideration when signing these agreements. So it could be a small bonus of some sort, or some other opportunity, maybe, extra vacation days or something like that. But there's different ways to provide consideration. You want to make sure you do that to make them binding. Just so you are aware, on my website, I will show you, there is, let's see, a section of my website called Automated Services, where you can go, and if you need a basic non-disclosure agreement, you can order those down here. So you would click on this box, and you could add a non-disclosure agreement and a non-compete agreement. You can bundle them together, get both, and save. And then you go through ordering, answering the questions about the information. I'll put it together for you and send it to you. So if you have any questions, you can always email me at bindhackerlaw.com, info@bindhackerlaw.com. You can visit our website, subscribe to our newsletter. Also, follow us on social media. And if you want to listen to my podcast, it's called The Accidental Entrepreneur. There's information about it on the website, and you also can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and I believe TuneIn, which is the Alexa app. So I'm Mitch Bindhacker. I'm a business attorney in Clark, New Jersey. I handle business agreements, estate plans, transactional work for business owners, executives, and professionals. And this has been the Thursday morning legal update. Thanks for listening.